There's a power plug here.
Deep in the heart of central Washington state is a mystery. A strange pit claimed to be as deep as 80,000 feet has piqued the curiosity of people from around the nation and has reportedly been seen by only a handful of people. It grabbed national attention in 1997 when a man calling himself Mel Waters contacted radio talk show host Art Bell on his national talk show Coast to Coast. The mysterious pit has become known as Mel's Hole.
Canine down into the hole.
There's people down there. One of them is people to us that we're here easily.
There's nothing better than a deep hole. It's just one of those neat things that just push the imagination of all of you.
I know actually quite a bit about Mel's Hole. Do a spot actually on Mel's Hole, trying to find it ourselves.
Mel's Hole, news, theories, and rumors surrounding Mel's Hole have reached beyond Ellensburg. Mel's Hole. Mel's Hole. The search for the hole.
I kind of thought the Moby Dick of Northwest because it's like, you know, it's just something about a whale, it's about a hole. It's a job with the coast. Oh, people are so fun out.
Came to us and said, I saw this hole 40 years ago. My father showed it to me. It's real.
You really think you've got 80,000?
Yeah, I get line in 5,000 yard spools.
When I brought the dogs with me, they wouldn't go anywhere near the damn thing, and if I try to bring them down a leash, they'll just dig their feet in. They do not want to go anywhere near the hole.
Across from me over here is the actual roadway into Mel's Hole. Don't go up that road. Up there a ways is a fence. I don't think you're getting in a lot of trouble, but maybe arrested for trespassing. But you get across that fence, you're in a deep bunch of trouble. It might be that you simply disappear, period. being used for load and unload certain objects that they need down there.
There's a Carlos theory is that I'm not a true believer in any sense. I'm always open to the possibility these things are true. Well, ever since I was a child, I've always believed that things are not what they seem.
Well, I have been there literally a number of times. We don't go into it physically. We go into it the way we're trained spiritually. So he starts down and down and down. He's going at a regular speed and casually going spiritually. And that's no hurry it up, dude. This is a long hold. So down. And he lands at the bottom. He says, "My God, Dracula." I said, "Well, fine, you made it." And these lizard people could sense somebody was there. And they went for him. And he started flying up the hole and yelling all the way. Right up, they're right here, they're right behind me, right up. Anyway, we got up here and I said, "Let's get the hell out of here." And we pulled rubber.
Some searchers now believe Mill's hole has been hidden by the government.
Where's my white linen outfit? Because like twinsies. Yes. You and Dwayne planned this?
You're going to believe it or you're not going to believe it. And most are going to wonder about it. And many will hunt. I've heard of one group coming out with high-powered rifles. So if anybody shoots at them, oh geez, what a bunch of dopes.
Magic and mystery and wonder. Unique to the world with many more things to be experienced than you learn about in school or in everyday life.
Golden oldies. Hits.
There's nothing better than a bowl. It's one of those neat things that just perks the imagination.
I know actually quite a bit about Mel's Hole. We were spot actually on Mel's Hole trying to find it ourselves.
Rumors surrounding Mel's Hole have reached beyond Ellensburg. A strange pit claimed to be as deep as 80,000 feet has piqued the curiosity of people from around the nation and has reportedly been seen by only a handful of people. It grabbed national attention in 1997 when a man calling himself Bill Water contacted radio talk show host Art Bell on his national talk show. The mysterious pit has become known as Bell's Hole. I've got Mel on the line. Mel's the guy with the never-ending hole. You really think you've got 80,000?
Yeah, I get line in 5,000 yard spools.
Mel's Hole is a complex, very interesting mystery.
So one guy claims he threw his canine down into the hole.
Father showed him the hole when he was a boy.
There are people down there. They were here even before that.
Definitely good.
Give it up for Transporter Room, everybody. Their only New York appearance. Their only New York appearance. You saw it. In from the West Coast. That was phenomenal. Wasn't it amazing? We went to... Yeah, exactly. Whose hole? Mel's hole, everybody.
YouTube video. Hell yeah. Just loop everyone in on that video. Yeah. Group text.
All right, give us a second to kind of reset, and we will get started. We got some amazing readings. This is the Easy Paradise Cruise, everybody. Thank you for coming out. This is yes. So we're going cruising at Outer Shrunken Head. It's Poetry Week, and we got System Lord. We got Chava playing. We've got the amazing Sinja, who has been doing the visuals. That is entirely Sinja. That was amazing. Totally just impromptu improvising. This laser light show, like, is everybody rolling? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's get some Molly in here.
Yeah.
The Otto Shrunken Head. I see surabhi dhar coming in. Okay. So give us just 1 minute, maybe if everybody wants to get a drink, and then we will get started with the readings. Let me just gather everybody up, and then we'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes with some readings for everybody. Oh yeah. One more time for Transporter Room. That was amazing.
Well, the only Transporter Room show since amazing moments. Oh my god. 2000 and like, you get 14 or some shit. Sorry, no. Perfect shirt. Yeah, really opening. Definitely. I like the thing. Definitely representing. Just let me.
Alright, who's ready for the Weezer cruise? We're all going on the Weezer cruise right now! Woo woo! We're disembarking in summertime! Come along! No, I'm just kidding. It's Easy Paradise. Thank you all for coming out. Woo! We got amazing poets, music, comedians, all that shit. I got a shitty ass sound system I'm playing through, so it kind of is killing the Weezer vibe. But thank you all for coming out. Yeah, I guess the Weezer cruise is over. Aww. No, it's okay. We've got a lot more Weezer. You don't need to be upset. You don't need to be upset.
Okay.
This is actually Z. This is a sneak peek. This is like hot off. This is secret. This is like an advanced review copy. It's totally confidential. And I just wanted, you guys got to stay tuned for this because the launch party is coming up in August. The zine is going to be incredible. So I'm just plugging that at the beginning of the show. I'm going to start things off here on the Weezer cruise. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Alright, here it comes, here it comes.
Buddy Holland.
Alright. Oh yeah. Okay. This is the Ballad of Rivers Cuomo. I just have to make it through Saturday. I mean Monday. Grenade in my mouth. Free on headache. killing the ozone in my room, tempo dialysis hole in my face, Dragon Year, reading the Pinkerton Diaries in the mess hall of the Weezer cruise. I look like Rivers. Rivers looks like the Sprint guy. We all do. I'm disorientated through my head. I can't write in long tunnels. We got projections. We're in outer space tonight. We're going for a ride. We're going for a journey. We got amazing poetry. We got amazing experimental comedy, but I don't want to label anybody. You do whatever you want. We're between the genres. We're working in the edges. Listen to the new Weezer albums. He talks about Shakespeare. I'm in love with Hamlet. He's Harvard educated, okay? Yeah, I don't know. They're with us. They're a permanent part of my life. In high school, all my friends wanted to be in a Weezer cover band. And I couldn't, I just had to get away from it. I had to walk away. I said, no. I don't look like the Weezer guy. I'm not him. I'm me. I have my own identity. And I've accepted it, okay? I'm back. I love them. They're great. Every day. Come on. It's tasty. It's tasty. Yeah. If this was louder, it would be kicking your ass. All right. Yeah, that's right. See, somebody out there gets it. Where are the Weezer projections? I asked for Weezer projections. No, it's okay. Okay. That's right. Rivers would be proud right now. Eat my hands shake in sympathy. Omakase, Corso Antis. I'm an antist. I love ants. An anti. I have to go to the dentist or the art room in high school. Nate Atkins listening to oi bands. Playing music in the high school auditorium. All right, we're kicking it off. We're playing the Golden Oldies. David Geffen is here. David Geffen is going to represent us. We're all signing record contracts here on the Weezer Cruise. That's a concept. No, it's an Easy Paradise Cruise because we want to take everybody on a ride and get away from this hot weather and feel that Weezer ocean spray on your Weezer face. With the Muppets, they rock so hard. All right, that's enough. That's it. The Weezer Cruise is over. Okay, so yeah, we've got amazing acts. We got Sing Ya. He's going to do some music in a little bit. We're going to get things kicked off with some poetry. This first reader is an amazing poet and does great literary events. Classics Downtown. I mean, what more can I say? It's an amazing organization. And just give it up for Luke Hall, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. This is a poem called Scenes from a Eurasian War. 1. Year unknown. This began with an adagio of sublime violence. A bombed bridge exploded, collapsing into a minor sea. A poet who was a guest in a safety hotel looked through the thick window, suddenly ashamed of the poem he was writing. The shame had two causes. One was that his poem was one of a bodiless subject or self. The other was his perceiving, the poem of the concrete exploding with pure and actual force that sentimentalists like himself loathed from terror and called barbaric and called inhuman. In its prowess had a grace surpassing not just his own poems, but also their wellspring, and he wept in envy of the beautiful bombs. And he shut the blinds and wrote a poem of self-flagellation, his heart still turned in on itself. This poem was nearer to his final. Here he slandered himself for abusing himself. Nearer to his ultimate breakdown, but nearer too to his ultimate breakthrough. It was different in the water. Blood, wet rubble, stray rebar, wails of the wounded. A nameless soldier swam shoreward past a man with no ears who pleaded to him, past dozens and dozens of corpses floating, some face down and some face up, and bobbing with blank faces. And he felt strange things bump against his legs and did not know if they were living or dead. The terror steeled his nerves. He swam knowing death was near. The knowledge of death was a spur to reach the shore. Number 2, the Cronian hero. Reaching the shore, he constructed a great tent, bringing from the world's four corners souls who were outraged to hear his tale, and how first he went to war only for the most beautiful principles, and how those bombs destroyed not only that great paved bridge, exploding and sliding like a V into the sea, but destroyed those principles as well, which now, he said, were vacant air. And our enemies, their world, he said, is solid rock. And he said, then let us meet them there. The tent, however, was in the sights of an AC-130 gunship overhead, and in a moment was a small hill of blood and steel and fabric, was baked in hot sunlight until it hardened and congealed into a parody of a monstrous precious stone, crimson and blue-gray and tan green. Number 3, the poet, from sad to mad. Nothing is for its own sake, the poet was saying, rocking back and forth in his air-conditioned hotel room, not knowing the word's source, relishing the ignorance. He had just seen this bombing, too, and his nerves were as wrecked as the world around him. He poised his pen over the page. His hand shook like a jackhammer. He tried to speak a line, and all he did was stammer. His soul grew more intense, but also brighter. His gloom of German Bach bloomed into the antecedent Vivaldi, and the trees beside the burning buildings were both bagatelles and odes, pre-existing, as they did, the division of old rhythmos into song and verse. He could not write, but this somehow was a step forward, as if things got better as they got worse. Number 4, the war room. The general was a grave man, all tucked and buckled. He told his colleagues, death is logistics. It is where we must go, what we must do, step by step, methodically. He mocked the philosopher who spoke of final cause, and he giggled at the naivety of lawyers, activists, judges, and their fawning worship of laws. Laws, whose promise lies in what, he asked, and answered himself. In the death, gentlemen, we deal. We are the true dominators, and more so because we humor presidents, and because we humor the people to have their spectacular show. The illusion of their civil society projects from the barrels of our guns. This he said with great pride. Our tank barrels, our missile silos. There was a minor intelligence officer who worked under this general. One day the minutes of a war room meeting slipped into his hands, a human error, such as military personnel cannot permit. Soon his conscience put him on a flight to Iran, where he could not be extradited, to meet with an imam by then renowned throughout all of Eurasia for wisdom and compassion. This document, this MacGuffin, just imagine the worst, the most self-pitying, self-aggrandizing poem ever written, because its contents are beyond description. The intelligence man didn't know what to do with it, so he flew to Iran to speak to the great religious man. for the themes in this document touch particularly on the same topoi as the great world religions. Number 5, the poet, from mad to launchpad. As the poet sat in his room shaking and stammering, suddenly the phone rang, a muffled voice. You know about these things. This is sensitive. We cannot come to that hotel for obvious reasons. You must come to us. There was a Russian base nearby. Go, give my name. Say it concerns sensitive war intelligence, and you are an American defector. The Imam laughed and then went on. Well, you are. He hung up the phone and then, running into the bathroom, lurching over the toilet, vomited, and then did as he was told. The intelligence officer and Imam greeted him at the airport in Tehran before the Imam took both on an all-day tour of various facilities, ending with the launch pad. Here the Imam gave a discourse on the philosopher Al-Farabi and turned the launch pad into an elaborate analogy for the first and the last. The poet was smitten. Number 6, in the garden. Our tradition, the Imam was saying. It was the next day and he had brought them to a magnificent path-lined garden of flowers and fruit trees and small lawns. And down the path, 3 of them were walking, the Imam discoursing. Our tradition is full of great poets. Of course, everyone speaks of Rumi. But there are so many. Al-Ghazi, Imru al-Qais, Hafez, Muhammad Iqbal, Abu Tamam, Tarafa. One above all you must read, my friend, Ibn Arabi. Many scholars say he inspired Dante. Our Quran itself is a jewel of world poetry. And the intelligence officer chimed in saying, Imam, have you read The Americans? And the poet, no longer smitten but in fact irritated by all this talk of poetry, in his irritation said, I think he would treat Walt Whitman like Mansour al-Hallaj. The Imam's face went flush. That is a unique case, and long ago. The poet turned to the intelligence officer. Do you know the man, his story? I do not, he said. This is a sensitive subject, the Imam cautioned, his voice wavering. It is, said the poet, full of adrenaline, a very sensitive subject. But it has everything to do with all these bombs and all this death. The Imam smiled as if something had dawned on him, and after softly laughing said, You're very different now, aren't you? Back in a safe place. The poet, unperturbed, shot the Imam a dark glare, and instantly replied, Tell him the story of Mansour al-Hallaj. His fate is far worse than mine. I have only almost died at the hands of insane men. Tell his story, start to end. The Imam sighed, but he obeyed. His grandfather was a Zoroastrian, a magus. His father combed fibers, preparing them to be spun. Moving to Wasit, famous for its Quran reciters, Hallaj memorized the whole body of it by age 12. He grew, moved to Basir, marrying, becoming a Sufi, sought many teachers, made Hajj, stayed in the courtyard of the cube 1 whole year in silence and fasting, left his Sufi order, accumulated disciples, and his old order's jealousy, made second pilgrimage to Mecca, now with a train of 400 disciples. His old Sufis were there, frenzied with envy. They accused him of sorcery, of making obscene deals with jinn. He sighed and traveled to India. And when he returned for a 3rd pilgrimage, it was in Indian dress. His ways and words distressed scholars and the crowd alike, the way he avowed his burning love for God. And then one day he uttered those terrible words, Anal Haq, I am the truth. He was put on trial. All but one of that court condemned him. The one said Ilham, inspiration, was beyond his jurisdiction. And then, as you Americans say, a long train of abuses. Charge after charge, confinement after confinement. And then he was hanged. Birds chirped in the trees through whose leaves sun flashed in dazzling glints of gold. The poet made a grand outward gesture to the garden around him and said, Look, Imam, here is that truth whose name is I am. It suffuses all and thus us too. It drives men mad with jealousy to bomb and kill because they do not know themselves. And the intelligence officer said thoughtfully, "It seems that in time, with or without their permission, all will." Gold flashing glints of sun dazzled through the leaves of trees on whose branches chirped birds. Words before language, and people without names, all one. A strange story, he said, but well told. Thank you. This is gonna work or not?
Yeah, it's kind of in and out. Never used this equipment before. But, yeah, our next act is super hilarious and revolutionizing the art of comedy. We're super excited to have her here. Give it up for Surabhi Dhar, everybody. Surabhi Dhar.
Stop me, bro.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Hi everyone. So it's moving season, and I haven't done my laundry. Ergo, I'm wearing the 7th reject of my mom's big sari collection for my cousin's wedding. I apologize. I just turned 31 this month. Let me explain how 31 I am. I was at the edge of my seat at the beautiful last act, and now I have a lower back pain. No, but I really realized that I hit my 30s when I cancelled a date with a perfectly gorgeous human male, acceptable as a human, tolerable as a man, because my therapist had an opening. But no, let me tell you the good things about being 30, right? My mom said that I couldn't get facials till I was 30 because facials do this to you, and you don't want that happening before 30. But once you're 30, this happens anyway. So I can now get facials done even though I can't afford them in New York because I'm broke. Okay. I know I'm pulling this along a lot, but let me tell you the last thread of what it means to be 30. I started going on first dates, and I started listening to songs that are played on day 3 of 5 at Indian weddings. And no, I'm not talking about the percussive, gyrative stuff that Nick Jonas calls Bollywood. I'm talking about soft, sweet, melodic music that would be kosher for tonight and Matt would approve of it. And then I was like, why am I listening to this stuff while going to meet these men that I barely know? Instead of, the refined taste of my 20s, like Pitbull and David Guetta. And then I realized that it's because these songs were written to prepare women to have sex with strangers. But, these songs were written to prepare women to have unprotected sex with strangers because they wanted women to have babies and put on weight and generally bring on mood swings onto themselves and pretend like maternity leave was really happening at work when the workplace was deciding to have non-discriminatory reasons to fire you. Sorry, I'm ranting. But I was having protected sex, after listening to these songs, because the ideas of babies was a wild idea to me, right? Wild. Because babies are the kind of decision that you cannot take a break from. Cats, dogs, plants, all these living things, decisions you cannot take a break from. I was moving, as I mentioned, and I realized I killed my basil 4 months ago. So generally, I like taking decisions I can take a break from. Crop tops, yoga, public interest jobs. I met a friend just before coming to the US for my master's who just had a baby. And this is how much I don't like babies. I was like 2 weeks before coming here, and my friend had just had her child, and it was like kind of like in the middle of the pandemic, and I met her and she was like, why don't you hold my baby? And I was like, you want me to hold this thing I can strangulate? Mostly because when I see things that are supposed to be human but are in tiny sizes like Barbies, I was the Oppenheimer to my Barbies when I was young. Okay, I would get a bunch of them as gifts because that's what everyone thought I wanted, and I would derobe and decapitate them. So when I see things that are like tiny and supposed to be human, I want to kill them. So I was like, I don't think I should hold my school best friend's baby. So I was like, what is the best excuse? So I was like, I'm not going to hold this baby because exposure, you know, pandemic and everything. And she's like, no, I know you just got tested to see me. And I was like, I'm not talking about the exposure I will give the baby. I'm talking about you went to a hospital 5 days ago, girl, and you didn't get the private ward. So, and I need to go to the US and they want me to get a vaccine that isn't available in the global south because they kept it all for themselves. You're not supposed to laugh, you're supposed to fucking feel bad. And the problem is, I moved to the US and the American epidemic happened. I had a depressive episode and Lexapro became my friend. It's the first SSRI that psychiatrists give you, and if those don't work, then good luck really. Because then it's a fucking bad ride. Luckily they worked. But they worked too fucking well. I started seeing babies and dogs and cats and fucking flowers, and I liked all of them. I'd see a baby, I wanted to be its godmother. I'd see a cat, I wanted to catch it. I'd see dogs on the subway and I'd be like, kuchu, 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 kuchu. And then I was like, and then people would give me weird expressions on the subway, especially the subways going Upper East. And I was like, that's not a microaggression I can afford on my visa. That just went away. And then I realized I really want a baby, a dog, a cat, my basil, flowers for 1 day of the week. Just 1 day of the week. And then I was like, is that what everyone wants? All of these things for 1 day of the week? Is that why everyone's childhood is so fucked up? Not my childhood, not my childhood. I had a lovely childhood. My parents loved me, okay? They did. I don't know if they loved each other, but they loved me. Until my brother came along 5 years later. My brother is that kind of person. I don't know if you guys have those people in your life. Those people who everyone loves more than you. And you get it because so do you, because you've spent so many nights self-loathing. And that's why you're doing stand-up in the middle of the week. My brother's a doctor. So are my parents. I don't know what gave that away. And so they have a group chat, which is called a WhatsApp group in parts of the world where telecom companies don't subsidize the iPhone. And I don't know how much you guys know about Indian WhatsApp groups, so let me give you a little taster. Usually Indian WhatsApp groups, family groups, have like the ugliest flower known to mankind, juxtaposed with a positive message for the day, letting you know that it's morning, not acknowledging that you are in a different part of the world. But not my Indian WhatsApp family group. Mine had pictures of kidneys and livers and successful surgeries. I am not kidding. So my brother sends a photograph of his first successful surgery because he's a surgical resident. It was called a laparoscopic cholecystectomy, and that took a while to learn, so laugh. And you know what my mother says to him? She's like, "Beta, you're getting good cutting opportunities." And I was like, I spent all this time trying to be a lawyer because, you know, all the TV series were doing that for my main character, Energy Syndrome. But really, I should have been a serial killer because that's what's in now. True crime. Anyway, I didn't make the best decisions. I didn't kill people, didn't kill Barbies, didn't kill babies. I'm here. My brother comes to me with his problems. Okay? He comes to me with his problems, and my only problem is that I worked really hard to set the bar super fucking low. Yeah? And he keeps raising the bar fucking up. So I went to the top 5 schools for what I do in my country. This idiot, who by the way got the better genes and doesn't need to like wear makeup if he went on stage, went to the top 2. And in the top 2 medical schools in a country of 1 point whatever billion people, in his interview he decided to play the piano. And I was like, why the hell did he play the piano? It's not like if you show the decision makers that you know the 8 octaves, they're like, oh no, he knows where the kidney is and the liver is and where the appendix that no one needs is. And then I was like, he's a little quiet show-off. Who I love, by the way. This is not a set about my problems with my brother. It's not. Hard to believe, I know, but no. I realized he just wanted to show off. He was like, I know Beethoven's Furellis, Moonlight Sonata, Triple Concerto. And I was like, brother, I need to lower the bar again. And that's what brought me to you guys on a Wednesday night for my single concerto. That's my time, guys. Thank you.
Amazing, surabhi, dhar. Real talk, real talk. And it's Thursday, actually. Don't tell your parents. Give it up one more time for surabhi, dhar. Alright, we're gonna have some more poetry now. This next poet, amazing writer and also a polymath. Give it up for Bryce Leong, everybody. Bryce Leong.
Like I'm just like ready to cry. No! Oh, we're doing a little switch over here. You're good. No, this is great.
My name is Bryce.
It's perfect.
Yeah, maybe I should start. Okay, this is called Permeate. Burn your fingers coldly into me, dry ice pressing through my skin. Push it forward with your palm, hold it with conviction. Drop poison past my pores, trickling as acid rain. Send it to the core, but first thrust it through my veins. Sink pounds inside capillaries, carry to each wilting tip. Expose fully the body as you watch the continuous drip. Stroll on along congested streams, tremors to the traumatized heart. With a steady grip on the center wheel, you can now take it apart. Okay, it's like sort of about like a relationship takeover feeling. This one is called Shrunken.
Thanks.
Opened the window to my soul, out spilled my guts, broken bones, flesh flipped inside out, I'm splattered on the ground. Green blood dribbles down on your lap, I drown. Your negligent legs pound, but I let them stomp me, twist and mold. Here I am free under thoughtless souls, S-O-L-E, seeing and feeling each imprinted layer and fold. There I lay, open-souled. This one's like about power. Okay. Called Running Loose in the Underworld. Oh, this is so dark.
Yeah.
Claw through with dripping bloody knuckles. Slam through walls of my heart with chuckles. Cognizant of the danger, I relish in the sensation of the tickles of the stranger, the pounding pain's inflation. Tie me down inside blue flames as you tempt me with your gaze. Wave thorny roses in my face, eat away with each embrace. Long for that tempting rose I do. Wait for you. Hands, feet bound, grasp at your shadow, chained to the ground. You won't let me have that bruise, though. I'm grabbing like King Tantalus at what I cannot keep to kiss. The game goes on and on like this until I realize that the bliss, satisfying my craving stomach, shall only serve to keep me sick. Gluttony encroaches silently till all desire has engulfed me. Disillusioned. Dashing headfirst into the pool, spirits awaken anew. Each inch of flesh tingles as young hearts mingle, pushing through smoky, hazy hues. Dive in, deep into Eden. Feed not, bite the apple, for the devil lies right here in my own dollhouse world. Come unto him, all ye that labor, they say. Yet I have found myself running loose in the underworld. Okay, I'm gonna change the mood a little bit. This will be like a cute, like, sound film about a storm. Okay, this is called The Storm. First down gushes the rain. Swish, swish, tippity tap as it glides across my window pane, bouncing, speeding, snap, slap, snap. I can hear the echo of thunder, I can hear its vroom, boom, boom, and I just wish and wonder, will this all be over soon? Now, lightning is supposedly silent, although I swear I somehow hear it snap. It blinds me with its bright glint and threatens with its clap and snap. The flowers are dying because the sky is crying and showing its wrath. It won't stop this whining while shining and flying on everything that stands in its path. People outside are eating, my fam inside is eating, and somehow my heart can't stop beating. For the angered storm formed is making more than just noise, destroying precious things in its way, destroying the peace, serenity, and joys as it boom zooms and splashes away our day. This is called Memories. Memories. Now this is gonna be like darker vibe. Memories, all the pain endured. Memories, they are ever so obscure. I look for an inspiration to write, so what do? I close my eyes tight, and I can hear, feel, see it. Even though you may not believe it, my mind is filled with slams and booms, with growls and nags, my life in rags. I've experienced so many scams, such gloom. I hate every day being another drag. I hear the pounds, I hear the wax, hear the events which hold these cracks. I feel the sorrow, I feel the pain. My thoughts go slow, I go insane. Memories, all the pain endured. Memories, they are ever so obscure.
Give it up for Bryce Leong, everybody. Memories, like the Weezer song. I think the Weezer cruise is going great so far. What do you think? It's going great, this Weezer cruise. Bryce Leong, that was all memorized. I want to point that out. That was impressive. I mean, give it up one more time for Bryce Leong. Off the dome. All right, we got a few more amazing poets coming up. This next artist we're so excited to have here. She's really working in a form that nobody else has even considered working in. So I'm just going to let the work speak for itself. Can we give it up for one of our favorites here at Easy Paradise, Millie Efraim, everybody. Give it up for Millie Efraim.
Okay, I wrote this all in my notebook, but I can't read my own handwriting in front of the crowd, so I'm reading it on my phone through my notebook for authenticity. And I also was too tired to walk somewhere to print it.
Yeah.
This is called Hot Piss and Shit. Thank you. I'm tired of smelling hot piss, but I belong right here. Throwback to last summer when I was taking romantic advice from people with dementia. that happened. The art of selecting from my notebook what I read or don't read to the public, what's funny and what's fucking rude. Let's hope I get it right. I'm getting really worried that what I read isn't any art form but just things I would have normally tweeted since I quit Twitter, and that would have probably only gotten one like. I can't wait to be in my 30s where I imagine I'll finally stop being self-deprecating and finally be hot, because being cute is really what people tell you when they know that you don't know your worth. Let's be real. The pinnacle of main character complex is dumping your stray hairs out the window of a moving car and believing you're leaving your mark on the city. I always start what I read with these pseudo-aphorisms so I can establish the vibe and prepare people for what's coming. Struggling to write this week, I attempt to read instead. I read a page of my book, I put it down. I open my notebook and think I want to write about times when I was alive, like the last entry I wrote. Why would I write about today, how I could barely eat, applying to jobs I'm overqualified for, hostile email exchanges with recruiters, Since when is use of Trello a skill set? God help me. I'm not girl boss enough for this world or Manhattan. I'm really proud of myself for not sending the passive-aggressive email back to the recruiter that I wanted to send. Actually, I don't know if I'm proud of myself. I want to send it, but my friends wouldn't approve. Other people are proud of me. But am I? Should I send the email?
Yeah, do it. Get the follow-up.
No, I don't want to follow up. By the way, she cheers me every single time she sends me an email. She's not getting me a job anyway.
Tell you. I'm calling the fuck out of them. Make them do their jobs.
Yeah, so crazy about the job anyways.
I'll fucking tell you about... Sorry.
Like, this annoying couple next to me is playing TikToks really, really loudly with really bad rap that sounds like Lil Uzi Vert adjacent, whoever that is. The audacity to play objectively bad music out loud on an iPhone speaker. At least commit and bring a proper boombox so we can vibe. And this tree they knocked down in Tompkins that is the most vile thing I've ever smelled, that I can't even describe it other than nature gone wrong. I think about getting a dog, then I think about picking up hot shit on a summer day. And by the way, where did we get the expression hot shit from? How could that be a good thing in any universe? English is so weird. This is the second time I'm referring to hot feces. We call it New York summer. My favorite part of my recent travels was the act of traveling, the joy of traveling alone. When you go through the airport, even a delay could be joyful because we don't know how to dedicate a time purely for ourselves. We revel in the times that allow us the same pause as a day off would give. But no, we can't do that. Torture to the feeling of guilt for not doing something. So I take my time at the airport because I'm masking my time off with the task of getting onto a flight. Time doesn't exist there. You have nothing to do except wait to put your body onto an aircraft and be confronted with your mortality in the air and maybe have a great crying session. I don't want to use the free Wi-Fi on my phone. I don't want connection with the outside world. I'm fine to be in limbo where no one knows me and it's safe to fantasize. At the very beginning of my trip, my flight at Newark got severely delayed, so I had to change flights completely and go to another airport. On my way to JFK, I was caught in traffic, and I found myself spying on this private moment between a man and a woman. They weren't talking, but it was so loud from where I was. The way they were looking at each other and their eyes were moving about, it was so intimate and profound. I realized I haven't had that in so long, so I ended my relationship a few days later. Because we never had that, and if you're not having that, then what's the point? I'm not going to risk having boyfriend air in my apartment and as a result having perpetual bad hair days if I don't even feel in love. So he trashed my apartment because he's allergic to honesty. But some people really are okay with a mediocre level of connection and no real intimacy. Being single is all fun and games until you have a necklace stuck on you for the third day in a row. So a trip was taken, a decision was made so I could return home and sit on the same bench like I never left it, but with a whole new host of emotions. No more internal conflict related to the paralyzation that comes with consistent indecision to leave or stay in an unfulfilling relationship. When we struggle to make one decision, we fail to make any. And once we make one decision, suddenly we're able to make them all the time. Do I end my relationship? Do I renew my lease? Do I eat lunch? Do I wash my hair today or tomorrow? I know. Is it therapy or my new tan that's giving me this sense of self-confidence? My spiritual advisor advised me to stop asking questions with the expectations of finding an answer. Like I should just ask the universe in an open way. One of the questions is, what is the beauty in that? So I still stalk my ex-boyfriend's Spotify activity. Universe, what is the beauty in that? I went to a writing workshop recently, And one of the exercises was to write about something really personal and embarrassing that we don't want anyone knowing. And I realized that's literally all that I do. My talent is embarrassing myself. I'm so lost these days, I'm reading my co-star updates like Bible. And I've fallen back on the toxic tarot card reading algorithm on TikTok, which have honestly become so camp. Life is just about urgency and clarity. If I don't have an urge for it, I don't really want it. And if it's not giving me clarity, it's not worth it. I was in the car with my cousins, singing our hearts out and dancing to Persian music when we drove past a really cute dead animal, and we were all silenced. Then we resumed our fun, and then I realized that's also what life is about, something really fucked up happening, but then you just have to continue. Okay. Thank you.
It's amazing. Give it up for Millie and Efraim, everybody. So brilliant. She calls it Notes app.
Yeah, Notes app poetry.
Notes app poetry, everybody. Give it up. That was incredible. Amazing, amazing. All right, we have just a few more spoken word acts. We've got Sing Ja coming up in a bit. We have the amazing Chava coming up after that. We've got System Lord closing things out. Yeah. Is Sarah Elizabeth here? Sarah Elizabeth, are you in the house? All right, well, in that case, I think it's Ashley. I think it's Ashley time. Is Ashley ready?
Well, we have to set it up.
Okay, we're going to set up audio. Just 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're going to set up the weezer. The weezer is coming back. I know you were wanting it to come back. But so, just give us 1 second and there's going to be more weezer.
Hey, yo, Matt, I just wrote a quick poem if you want me to do it real quick. No. Passing time. Nice. Yeah, I love it. I do it every day. Woo!
You don't know? Tequila? I think you had the right idea there.
Oh yeah, I told you.
Really.
So check out Ashley's new zine. It has amazing, really actually amazing. I'm just going to read some of the names in here. We've got Edwin Torres. We've got Philip Marinovich. We've got Debasery in the magazine. We got Eddie Berrigan. We got Cannonball Statman, Aiden Watson, Monique Erickson, Eileen Miles. Martyr is in the magazine. It's really amazing. It's dropping, what, August 4th?
Yeah. Billy's Record Shop, 6 to 10, August 4th, zine launch party. If Eileen is back from Lithuania, remember, maybe Eileen will be there.
Very cool. We love Eileen. We do, I think. What's not to love?
We're there.
We're there.
So these are my Pinkerton diaries.
New York.
So this is part of a long sentence novel that I'm writing.
Long sentence. I've seen you on Scenes from LA.
Many lives have many scenes.
Yeah, I'm on Scenes from LA, public access television.
It's very beautiful.
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Glued to the screen. Truly.
I'm in the background. Oh, just like some weezer music video. What's it? Are they like? Which one is it for? What's that? Just like playing and like. Just like.
The Say It Ain't So video?
Yeah, Say It Ain't So video.
Are you ready?
Collaborated on a chalk drawing. I needed a canvas to add to every day, but all I have are tiny symbols on a page. I wonder how many times they repeat. Kicked and screamed because I didn't want to leave, but Matt and I smoked in front of the out of the city. I had to endure Times Square Taco Bell until we found a seemingly quiet staircase to dwell on before a man said Matt looked like he was in My Chemical Romance. He should have said he was a lost member of Weezer, except he's taller than Rivers Cuomo. Spent the first day of summer in bed, the same old ennui crept in, so I read Henry Miller and Incredible Died. I had a few friends stop by to chat. One of them said I seemed happier. Maybe they're right. I'm full of a new strain of calmness. I couldn't take anything seriously. I just wanted to yearn to the music. Matt called me goofy, but that's okay because I'm goofy too. I almost cried reading my Summer of Love piece to the Ride instrumental track. Watch Romer over white wine. Wake up, smoke pot, see the cat. Love my phrase collector husband. Took Matt to Columbia for the first time. Smoked on the terrace using my pink San Ambrose matches. Walked to Harlem to get him checkers. Passed by the Apollo just to find out Whole Foods was closed. Sat by the water, liminal lighting. The corridor of shops reminding me of the restaurants by Ocean Beach. I was gone reeling your dreams. Ended up at Unnameable. I'm always being fed French fries by older poets. Counting down the days until I brought my Stratocaster to New York. I just wanted to make music like the Queen's beatnik meets interludes of heavy distortion. Started writing nonsense verse again. Everyone I've heard read lately have been too literal, except the greetings reading. I have an oral fixation for your cough. Philip called and said Matt didn't deserve the brownies he brought to Hamlet. He wouldn't have eaten them anyway if they weren't gluten-free. I'm taking all the time to grow into this body. I slipped into an old habit and brought a bottle of strawberry vodka to Shakespeare in the Park. Philip started calling Matt Senor Chipotle because he was busy eating a burrito bowl while we huddled under the stage awning. I'm being eaten every day. Just think of the book as a set list. I think in terms of tapes, not drafts. Philip said I wasn't estranged from my desires. Are they that obvious? Scribbled some thoughts down in my yellow pocket notebook as we listened to Hamlet through the speakers, slowly stretching my limbs in the summer rain. One night swimming, when Matt finally came around, walked all the way back to my apartment, smoked until early morning. Didn't care that everyone on the 2 to Flatbush watched me cry. I just entered my Pinkerton phase, jammed with Eddie, couldn't get a grasp on the saw, got too stoned to talk to anyone or read bean spasms. I'm not estranged from my feelings, I just need to take them for a walk. Matt just needs his sleepies. Gallery hop to see toy dogs and swans. The duality of smoking with Leo Fitzpatrick at his opening to befriending Park Slope sailors. All I remember is talking about Sonic Youth to some music journalists. And Eddie accusing me of liking oldies before we fell into David Lynch Dreamtime. When is Dinosaur Dreamtime? I went on my computer and was gifted tulips for reading. Somehow my pumped up Kicks commentary holds up. Finally moved and started wearing my keychain on my belt loop. Went bloquette wearing blue soccer shorts with my cowboy boots and a white ruffled top. It's not a System Lord show unless Matt gets hurt. Get me out of East Williamsburg. It may as well be Bushwick. Listen to February and July. Cigarette indoors. Bauhaus on the speaker. I've never loved you more. As a hazy faraway daydream burning slowly in my mind. How does one survive a summer here without going bell jar mode? And my next piece is called July in Past Tense. I caught every day separately with a different butterfly net. I woke up to the trees trembling outside my window. I listened to Imprint by Felt on repeat, staring at my ceiling in bed. The light movement reminded me of something angelic I had once seen on shrooms. Sunrise like halos. I picked up my phone for only an hour or two each day. I floated to and from the market to buy one thing at a time. First cherries, then a pint of whatever ice cream was on sale, or Spanish olive oil, whatever caught my eye. I got jealous of people making memes about the open mic when I was using my hands to write a book, a play about it, a laborious process worth so much more than a quick laugh. I let it go because at least they share their art on stage. I started writing a series of sonnets labeled Potato of the Earth because I misspoke. Paris and I had grown estranged. The clouds were as colossal as I liked them. When Bloom entered my poetry nook, it reminded me of any apartment corner in San Francisco. I almost heard the muni bus whirring up the hill, or teenage skateboarders rolling by. I missed the fog. I befriended sailors and Prospect Heights over pina coladas. I listened to poetry in courtyards. A flock of birds always created a chorus. I thought of my book as a set list, but wanted to improvise. I was running out of happy hours, but I would rather stay inside. I dreamt of pools and only speaking to someone on long train rides. I was careful of who I shared my portable picnic with. I hid a lake sometimes. I was bad at the saw, but it takes getting used to. I was a dog walker, but I didn't have a leash. I took new trains and got off randomly when I needed to read. I made myself espresso in a little mocha pot and variations on scrambled eggs. I was creating an orchestra every morning out of chives, green onions, and shredded cheese. I stored cereal for the less ambitious days, or the days I needed more of a crunch. I stopped wearing a heart on my cheek. I only wore dresses or long flowy skirts. I was covered in mosquito bites. I let the lightning bugs go and watched the cat nap every afternoon. I intertwined my body with yours when we found a moment alone. This brick facade is our arcade. Thank you.
Give it up for Ashley, everybody! The amazing Ashley, the one and only Ashley, the ultimate, the greatest, the infinite, the supernova, the hell omega! Hell omega Ashley, give it up for Ashley.